from the Women on Par.
Hello, and I'm Raji Kaipalal.
And today we're going to talk to you about what you can do if you've lost your job during this pandemic, or you faced a serious loss of pay, or if you're looking at an uncertain future. So what are the steps that you can take? We have got a step-by-step guide for you and a checklist that you can follow in order to proactively take steps towards the next phase of your life. So let's get started.
Tip number 1, please do not panic. It is quite natural that you are feeling quite overwhelmed and sad by the situation. But if you are going to be in that state of mind for a very long time, this might prevent you from taking the right decisions. And if you were to think about it, if you lost your job in the COVID situation, it is very likely that it was the company that you worked for who could not withstand this pandemic. And it had nothing to do with you. And now what you can do is try to have a positive outlook and move on.
Okay, so tip number 2, evaluate how much money you've got right now, either in the form of savings or your emergency fund, and then calculate how long it will last you. So see if it will last you for 3 months or 6 months. So what this will do is it will give you a buffer period where you have some space and some time to think and evaluate about your next options without that extreme stress and pressure of absolutely having to bring in an income.
Tip number 3, cutting down unnecessary costs. It would be a good idea for you to sit down and go through your expenses in the past few months and check where can you cut unnecessary costs. Now, this would mean maybe eating out less and cooking more at home. And if you could save around 100 rupees per day, you would be saving 3,000 rupees by the end of the month. Or maybe consider other things such as cancelling that gym subscription and instead opt for a home workout.
Number 4, declutter. So if you've got a lot of stuff lying around the house that are in pretty good working condition but you just don't use anymore, maybe it's time to get rid of some of it. It's time to sell it and make some money off it. So this will achieve 2 things. One is you will get rid of your clutter and you will actually be making some income on the side. Now it may not be much, but when you're in this kind of situation, any income is better than no income, right?
Tip number 5, refresh and tidy up your CV. Make sure your CV is up to date and do upload that on a professional platform like LinkedIn. And of course, don't forget to make sure your LinkedIn profile is up to date as well. Additionally, when you get to the point of having an interview with a potential employer, it is highly likely that the topic of layoff might come up. So it is best if you could think of an honest and a professional narrative about the layoff so that you can avoid rambling at the interview. And don't forget to practice that a few times before the interview as well.
Tip number 6, reach out to your network. Look, when we're in this kind of situation, anybody would feel embarrassed, right? Or you'd feel like, okay, what are people gonna think if I tell them that I got laid off or I lost my job? Will everybody just think I'm a failure? It's too embarrassing to go out there. That's like the worst thing to think right now. Listen, whatever happened to you, it wasn't because of you. It's because of all these external factors. Don't be too hard on yourself. So remember, you've spent all this time building a network, and this network cares about you whether you realize it or not. So reach out to them, tell them you're the kind of situation you're in, and lots of people will want to help you. So maybe there are all these opportunities out there that people are willing to offer you, but they don't know that you're actually looking.
Tip number 7, develop new skills or focus on improving your existing skills. There's so many platforms out there such as Udemy or Coursera which do provide free and paid courses. Have a look through the different courses that they provide and check if there's anything that would be of interest to you and also which would be worth bringing up in your next interview. A good tip for you is to subscribe to these platforms so that you are notified about massive sales that they carry out for different courses on these platforms. So you can make use of your time to develop a new skill at a very minimal price.
Okay, tip number 8, my favorite. Do that one thing that you've always wanted to do but never seem to have time for. So look, you have a lot of time on your hands right now, right? So maybe all these days you felt that you were just too busy and you didn't have time to do the one thing that you were really passionate about. Maybe you wanted to start your own business, or maybe you wanted to take up a hobby seriously and turn it into something profitable. Well, this is the best time to do it. So use this time to maybe, make a career change, go on a completely different career path, or maybe start that business that you've always wanted to start. Take it as a sign from the universe that, okay, this is a time to actually start that one thing you've always wanted to do.